So welcome to our fourth quarter update. It's Wednesday, October 11th. What are we? We're about 7 trading days in to the fourth quarter. Monday was an off day for us because the bond market was closed. The futures were still trading, but we were not actively trading on Monday. And so we've got the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and then today and yesterday. So throughout that time, what we've got is we have a total of 8 winning trades, 4 losing trades, 3 break evens, 17 no entries. A lot of no entries, and that has a lot to do with what's going on with the market right now. So again, we are very, very strict with our rules here, and that's really, really important. But what this has led us to is a 28.62% return on our starter $10,000 account. Today was the 3rd time in those 7 days that we have reached our 10% rule, which is the 10% rule is basically the way that we guarantee the account growth. So this is something that I was told many years ago. When you're just starting out on an account, if you're up 10% on the account, close everything and move on with your day. And so we've been able to do that 3 times throughout this process. And it's October 11th. So I think October 1st was a Sunday. And so we really started getting, started trading on October 2nd. And then this past Monday was Columbus Day. So we were not actively trading. So in very, very few short days, we were able to generate $2,862.10. $2,862.10 on a $10,000 account. So let's walk through some of those things. All right, guys, so before we get started with diving into the charts, this is our tracking sheet that we've got. As you can see, you got the 8 winners, the 4 losers, the 3 break evens, and the 17 no entries. But here's what's really, really, really important is the average win versus the average loss is a 3-to-1 ratio. So the average win right now is 425.45, and the average loss is 140.38. And the average win as a percentage is 66.67. That's pretty good. And so for October, we've got $2,862.10. That's the total for the quarter. That's our starting balance, this is our current balance, and this is our return quarter to date. Now, we've really only been trading again for a very short few days. But as you can see here, in every single one of these trades, I am putting the reasons and the notes in about how price hits the level, what we're doing as price comes into the level, how we're managing the trade. So for instance, today we took a $700 win on QG, which is the mini nat gas. And you can see here, we have that trade outlined beforehand right here on the trade that we wanted to get long at. All right, so I've got notes over here, and this was put up on October 10th at 9:19 a.m. This is what happened today, okay? So today is October 11th. Price came into that level and skyrocketed from it, and this was the alert that got fired off here to check for my 10% rule. And the reason why I set that alert was because we already took profits on MNQ today, and we were already short the euro. So we had a couple things going for us already, and I'm very, very strict about that 10% rule. So if my account's 10,000 and I'm up 1,000, I'm done for the day. So us being up 700 on QG was my trigger to get out of that trade, and that's exactly why I did what I did. So we've got that, and then we've got a bunch of no entries, especially in the last just 24 hours. A gold trade that I missed, and I'm super bummed out about this. I'm just going to go to the full size contract because it's easier. That's what I normally trade. But I was looking for a trade here, right here, and I literally missed it by 3 ticks at 1866. And now gold is at 1886. But that's the way trading goes sometimes. If it doesn't hit into your level, you cannot take credit for that trade. And so that's why I have a no entry here. Okay, price came within a few ticks of hitting the level, but we never got the alert entry. So price, of course, has rallied in a big way since that CPI report this morning on Wednesday, October 11th. The CPI came out higher than expected, which drove the equity markets down temporarily before we rallied, and then we came back down. So a lot of back and forth action today. You can see on a 15-minute on the MNQ, there was a no entry here. A lot of 30 minutes non-entry right here on the euro. Still waiting for some entries here on silver and on the British pound. And we took a 30-minute on copper that didn't work out. The daily on MNQ. This was kind of a bummer here. I'll show you guys this trade real quick. And I got all sorts of lines in here, but that's from all the trades that we've taken. So what I've got here on the MNQ is a drop-based drop. And when we came into the level, we were below 55, okay? But as we started to move down overnight, we really parsed back into that. And so what I did this morning was I got stopped out at break even on the daily, but on a smaller time frame, I actually got short and caught it here. So that's the 296 that I got today on the MNQ, was shorting that 30-minute area with 4 contracts. So, and I kind of go about why I was taking off too. We hit a smaller time frame demand above 40, and we caught a bounce, and that's where my T1 was. My T2 was down here. T3 was down here. We never broke the Globex low, so we got out of that on this rally up. All right. So that's the 296. I go through all of these reasons why we're doing this. Our job as traders is not to predict the future, is to, at a fundamental level, reduce as much risk as possible. So I move my stop to break even as soon as I am allowed to, okay? Because my job is to not lose money. Yes, wins are awesome. Fleeting wins are even better. But I enjoy when I'm in a free trade, okay? So I got the free trade on the daily level as we pushed back all the way down here, halfway to our first target, and then we started to rally up. Now, I can't control whether or not that rally was going to do what it did, but that's what happened. Price overnight grinded back up, okay? We're still above 60. Yeah, we had some divergence. That's fine. Deeper inside the daily level. But I'm not willing. We were up, I think, $600 overnight, and we gave it all back, all right, on this, on 2 contracts. So what I did here on the 30 was I took 4 contracts short, just looking for a Globex low, which is an overnight level kind of area, all right? And that's kind of exactly what's happened. So I got out there, and we got stopped out at break even on the remaining 2. On the euro at 1066, I can go over to M60. And guys, I only have a $10,000 account here, okay? So I'm very, very cautious about how many contracts I'm taking because I'm only allowed so much risk via margin, okay? I'm only allowed so many contracts. I only have on so many positions. So lucky enough, the euro came into this after we got out of our NASDAQ trade, and we got short here at 10663. And by the time we reached down into this area, which we were up, I think, $150, something like that, the QG, the nat gas, had rallied in a big way from this 4-hour level that we took. So we were up 700 there. We're up 296 on MNQ. And we were up, I think it was like 150 or 160 on M6E. And that was our rule. So overall, you know, we're up 28.62%, including the losers. Okay. Taking our profits where profits are due. Using our 10% rule, even getting out of some trades early and not taking some trades. So one of the trades that I was looking at here was a 15-minute on MCL, which I did not take because we had already reached our 10% rule. But crude oil, after the news of the war, we spiked. And then we try to close that gap, all right? So you can see my notes here, gap closure from the war notice on Sunday evening. Then we've kind of gone sideways and we faded all the way back to close that gap. And we've rallied back up into a potential 15-minute area that pushes us back down. Now, we're at 48 on the hour. The trend is very new, I will say. All right. But I think this is a good level. If that's not going to work, we also have this 1 hour level up here that's already been tested with a cross at 8.89 right here. This level is probably going to work out today, but I've already hit my 10% rule. So I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take that trade. But if I were going to take that, I've got 83 as the target, and I've got 81.74 as the second target, risking roughly 40 cents, 43 cents, something like that. A couple ticks above, right? But what you can see here is on the break even, I got 3 break even trades. 2 of them happened yesterday, right? On the MNQ daily and on a Russell daily. But here's what I'll say about a mistake that I made, all right? Now, I am certainly not the best trader in the world, but I kind of know what I'm doing because I've done this so many times, all right? So I'm going to get rid of this Russell drawing, and I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm also going to go back into the MNQ, and I'm going to get rid of all of these, okay? And I'm going to get rid of that because I can redraw them. But what I've got here is on both of these, the NASDAQ and the Russell, I have daily levels. I have a drop-based drop here on the NASDAQ, and on the Russell, I have a rally-based drop here, okay? Now, one of the things that I should have probably done is look to the RSI before I take a daily level. When I look at the NASDAQ, we're at a 55 as we enter this, all right? Which is why I probably got wicked out on that daily level where I broke even before I made a tiny bit of money on the short, right, this morning. But on the Russell, we were at, when we hit that level, we were at a 40, 41. That's a really big difference in the amount of momentum as we hit a level. And so the Russell is really pushed down, nearly, what is that? 10 points from here since entering that level. And the NASDAQ is starting to kind of start thinking about it. We do have topping tails, which is good. But if I would have recorded this video 30 minutes ago, it would have looked a little bit different, all right? The Russell's been the weakest one of the day. We hit the daily level with the least amount of momentum, and that's a mistake that I made. And so I just want to be super clear with you guys. Yes, we're doing fine. Yes, we're doing pretty well relative to where we started versus where we're at now with only 7 trading days. But there's still opportunity to do better. So where can we do better? And these are the things that I look for when I'm trading. So guys, this is where we're at. You guys are more than welcome to log into your portal, view all these notes, go back and see all of them. But I am updating this constantly. You can see 2 hours ago here on the M6E. 1 day ago, those are some older ones. MCL 1 hour ago. The Bitcoin area 3 hours ago. And tons and tons and tons of updates on what we're taking, why we're taking. Not only am I giving you levels, but I'm also following up, okay, on what we're doing here. So, if you want to join us in doing this, I would love to chat with you. I would love to talk to you, and I would love to see if that's something that you can do, because we've been teaching people how to trade for several years now, and one of the biggest things is starting a starter account, how to grow from 10,000 to where you actually have some sizable things. I happen to have a little bit of track record with that, doing it 4 or 5 times over the last couple years, scaling accounts, from 5 to 35 or 10 to 140, things of that nature. So, but these are some of the keys. And yes, abiding by our 10% rule can be very, very annoying, but it is absolutely pivotal when you're growing your account. You have to take your gains where gains are due, even though that might go against what you might do with a seasoned account, which is let those winners run no matter what. All right. But it changes when you're just trying to grow. Right now, I'm in a position where I'm just trying to get enough capital to go actually trade real dollars. The E-minis, no more micros. But it's going to take 20, 22,000, 25,000 for me to be able to do that. All right. And then I could trade less with higher risk, higher profitability, higher quality levels. And that's how I trade now today. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions along the way. But we're off to a great start for our fourth quarter challenge. And thank you for following me all along the way. Let me know if you guys have any questions, of course. And be sure to like this video, share it, let your friends know if anybody's interested in trading. And I'm always here for you if you have any questions again. So, all right, guys, take it easy.